I was her only son, and she sent me off to war when I was 17. I had friends that were a couple of years older that had seen a lot of action, and they said it was a scary, nervous situation.
Our biggest challenge is time. These guys, if their life was a symphony, we'd be in the last chorus. You know, for some of them, we're in the last few notes. We're racing against the clock. We need to move to serve as many veterans as we possibly can, because in a few years, for World War II veterans, they'll be gone.
It's remarkable what happens when you spend a little time with the veterans. Once you get near it, you can't walk away from it. You see these folks that are in their late 80s and early 90s, mostly men, some women, and you know that they have done the toughest stuff that could be done for our country, and they've really been where the real heat was, and yet now they're older and they're in their last stages, and they've never gotten the credit they deserved. These are the men and women that you might be on the supermarket line with, and you, in our normal walk of life day, we're frustrated because they don't move as fast as they could have, and then you learn that they were jumping out of a transport ship onto in Normandy, and you realize these are the ones who saved our country. So it was hard not to do a project. And once we started, it took off and had a life of its own. We did about 75 interviews. We went down on a couple of flights. We went in a lot of places. But the key to this film was the aspect of bringing them into high schools and middle schools to talk with students. It's two generations that knew very little about each other. The youngsters are a couple of generations out, so they don't know what happened in World War II. It's not taught in school as much as it should, and they get maybe a day or so, if that, in social studies. And here, to put an icon of history in an environment where they can speak on it intimately was phenomenal. I saw it happen over and over and again in schools up here, where the students would look in awe, and then when they sat down with them in the cafeteria, they really got down to the nitty-gritty. What was it? Where did you sleep? What was it like? Were you afraid? Did you want to come home? What were you worried about? Did you worry about being shot or killed every day? And then the veterans would look at the students and say, we don't understand about these computers, and we didn't have 57 million channels to turn our TV on, and when we got up, it wasn't TV, it was radio, but we had to get up and do it manually, and you've got remote, so there was a lot to learn for each group.
Hudson Valley Honor Flight Generation Bridge will be shown this Saturday at the Culinary Institute of America's Marriott Pavilion in Hyde Park. Showtime is 3 p.m., followed by a VIP reception at 5. For more information and tickets, visit facebook.com/HVHF Generation Bridge.